Howdy, crafty friends. It's Cheri, and we're back in the craft camper. And I say we because Mr. B is with me. Mr. Bant.
Howdy, everybody.
My husband, Darren, is here. I'm so excited to share about our weekend. We made it back safe and sound. Today is Sunday, June what?
9th.
9th, yes. And we just stayed 2 nights, Friday night and Saturday night. Yesterday was the Knit the Bridge event. If you don't know what that is, you can look back. I kind of did a little montage yesterday of our whole event. But I made a blanket, more or less, a panel that was then put on the Sky Bridge at the Boyne Mountain Resort, and they have an event that's going on. It started yesterday was the opening of it, and I think, did they say
Coming down on the 16th.
Is that what they said?
That's when they're going to leave everything up until the 16th.
He paid attention. I didn't. I thought they
That's
said a
just
little
a number.
while. Yeah, I don't do numbers very well. So the resort actually reached out to me after I had sent my blanket in and everything, just asking if I would just do like our experience. So doing a little montage video that we did yesterday, and then just a recap of our entire weekend. We're going to talk about like the entirety, I think, from us leaving Friday night, because we didn't actually get to the Boyne Mountain Resort until Saturday morning.
Right.
So we stayed someplace else. We'll talk a little bit about that as to what I would do differently next time. But we had stayed somewhere where Darren had kind of a link from, several years. When you were a kid.
When I was a kid, the place we used to go, so we
Yeah,
decided to stay there.
and it was another like ski resort around the Bel Air, Michigan area, and we just rented an Airbnb. But we made those reservations like early before I sent the blanket off. I think I had reserved the room. So and we had to. I don't remember when we had to have those in by, but I think it was like the end of April. So I think there were
30th or the 1st of June,
something like that. How many panels did they say that they had? Like 100?
A little bit over 100. 110, 120, something like that.
But anyways, okay, so let's start on Friday. We left here. It was kind of fun. It's so fun because before the two of us were married, we did this little trip up the west coast of Michigan, up into the UP, and then we went fishing with your family up in Canada, and so we kind of retraced some of our steps, but in real Michigan style,
all up the West Coast.
And we get started and we couldn't even get to like through Manistee because the bridge is under construction, and so I'm like
all
everywhere.
Place,
So we were trying to skirt the coast, but we had to wait until we got up to Ludington and then jog over, and it was good, but it was really fun. It was really fun to kind of like drive, and we live
leisurely pace.
We live on the lake, but as you go farther north, it changes as you get a little bit far, and it's just so beautiful. I mean, there's so many. If you've never been to Michigan, you need to come because there's so many beautiful places. I have to say, I kind of like the west side. I know that Boyne Resort is considered northern Michigan, but it's still kind of on the west side. So not that I don't like the east side. So I'm not saying I don't like it, but I prefer this side of the state. Yeah. I think it's pretty. Or maybe even up into the UP. That's pretty as well. But anyways, we did that Friday. We got in. We kind of just trekked around. He like retraced some of his like old snowmobiling like
trails and
places
we used to go.
Yeah, and some of it's changed, right?
Yeah, it's been about 25.
Well, it's longer.
30 years.
Yeah, it's been longer than that because we've been married 20 years.
There's a lot of it's the same. Some things have changed.
Yeah, but it was fun. That was fun. So that was the first part of our trip, and then we stayed, like I said, at this other resort, and they have like an Airbnb since it's off season, and then we got up early, not too early, Saturday morning to head to the Boyne Mountain Resort for the event. And what they did was they had like an artist brunch, and if you submitted like a large panel, you got 2 lift tickets to go to the Sky Bridge, and then you also got your brunch provided for you, and so that was really, really cool. And I didn't know, honestly, guys, I didn't know what to expect with this whole thing. I was scrolling through Facebook one day and I saw an ad for it. I knew of Boyne Mountain Resort because I had friends who would snowboard up there all the time when I was younger, but I had never been. And I don't think you had either, right?
I don't think I'd ever been there.
And if Mr. Bant would have came to me and said, let's go on a trip to a ski resort in summer and it would be a fun vacation, I would have been,
yeah, what is there to do there?
Yeah.
There's no snow. I wouldn't have been something that I would have picked. And that's like one of the reasons why
when we were getting the Airbnb, we talked about where do we stay. I didn't really think about staying at the resort because I'm like, I don't know. We'll go. I just want to see the yarn stuff. I just want to see the panels.
Well, we'd never been there, so we didn't know what was there.
We didn't know what to expect. So anyways, we get to this event that they had, which was so cool. It was so cool. And you'll have to, like I said, you'll have to go watch the montage video because I tried to share a little bit of our whole day because it was just one day, but it feels like
we packed a lot
into it. So they had like a brunch for us, and it was like a pretty nice spread, and they had drinks if you want to drink some.
It's a huge room.
Yeah, like a big, Matterhorn. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, I think it was the Matterhorn.
Yeah. But the style of the resort itself, like you get there and it's its own little village. It's kind of I think you had said like Bavarian style. Like I think Swiss village, but you said no, right? Like Bavarian. Yeah. So it had that style, very like, I'll say bougie. That would be the perfect word for it. Very well manicured, just well maintained. Some of it's a little dated.
Looked really classy.
Yeah, but it's cool. Like first we pull in and there's a friggin' airport there. They have their own runway.
Right at the drive coming in.
Yeah. So yeah, it was just not. I mean, I could have looked it up online, and you know how that goes. You just never know like what to expect. But I was very pleased. So they talked about it's actually like a knit for a cause. So what they were doing during the Knit the Bridge event, for every person, for every, like, I can't even know, words are hard for me, but for each ticket, for each ticket that's sold, for each ticket that was sold, they're giving,
on the Sky Bridge.
Yeah, they're giving $1 to the Women's Resource Center of Northern Michigan, I think is what it's called. I'll put a link to that in the description of the video because I believe they're gonna auction off a few of the panels.
I think they were gonna keep a few and they were gonna give the rest of them up for auction.
Yeah.
To generate more
income, to raise more money. So it's kind of a really cool, like a full circle moment, really cool thing. Mm-hmm. So after we were done there, then we got to ride the ski lift. And if you haven't followed along, so you ride the lift up the mountain to get to the bridge. And to go across, so it's at the top of like where all the all of the trails down are.
And you can't see it from the bottom.
No, you can't at all.
You gotta go up to see
it. But for me, as I've gotten older, I'm really afraid of heights, so I wasn't sure how it was gonna go. Like if I even drive over a really tall bridge, but mind you, when I do that, usually it's over water. So I think I did figure out that some of my fear, or my more like crippling anxiety fear, is when it's high spaces over water, I think, because I didn't really mind.
No, you did really good on the chairlift.
It was fun, actually. Yeah. It was really fun, but it went slow. I mean, there were times it went a little faster. It went fairly slow, which was nice because then we could like take in all the scenery. And there's a lot to look at. I mean, the views are stunning.
You get up really high.
Yeah, the views are stunning. So we got up to the top, and this is the thing that I think is so cool. So if it definitely would be, right away we were like, we got to get the kids up here, because we get up to the top and they have so much fun stuff. They have a food truck there. They have another restaurant. They have restaurants all over the place. But they had like, the huge chess set, and they have the huge Connect, what is it? No.
Oh, the blocks.
No, they had like those. They had like the I can't think of what it's called, but where you put the checkers in. What's that called? That game.
Connect 4.
Connect 4. Like it was huge. Did you see that? They had that there. So like these enormous outdoor kind of things
to play with.
Yeah, for the kids. And they had a fire, and then I think it won.
And music.
And music. They had live music. A cellist that sang, and he actually was an electric cello.
I think it was.
So that was kind of cool. We got to hear a little bit of that later when we went on a ride that we did. We'll talk about that in a minute. But okay, so we get to the bridge. The bridge was amazing. However, I didn't really get to enjoy the views off the bridge. I just had to get across it, and I was recording as I was going, and that kept me focused.
But they had the pieces on each side.
Yes,
along the railing.
They were like altering.
So if you didn't want to look at the scenery, you could just look at those.
And that's what I did, and that's how I got across it. And right in the middle, they have it's like 118 feet off
at the highest.
At the highest, which isn't. I mean, in reality, that's not that high, but it's pretty high.
But it goes right over a ski slope.
Yeah, right over a slope, and then in the middle, there's about 30 feet of like glass
panels in the floor.
I didn't look. I didn't look.
Yeah.
I didn't look. But I will tell you, it does sway. So it got to sway in kind of bad a few times, and that freaks me out a little bit. It's almost like you can't get your footing. You kind of stumble.
But it's 5 feet wide.
Yeah, so it's a little
narrow. So you can always hang onto the sides.
Yeah, which I did. I didn't let go the whole entire time, there or back. I didn't let go. But I will say that it was just the panels themselves. Everyone except for the two end panels that were each an American flag, they were all very unique, very different, and just cool. It was like a huge outdoor art installation of just these cool fiber arts panels, all done in different ways. So there was crochet and knitting, and of course the circular knitting. And I have to give a shout out to, I think it was Britton and Justine. They're in our I think they're in our group in the Crank Knit community, or the Crank Knit network group. And yeah, we said hi. So that was cool. And I got to see right away. I could tell that their pieces.
So much variety though. The next one you looked at was always different than the previous one. And all different colors, different patterns, different designs, different techniques. It was so much variety.
Yeah, it was really cool. And everybody was super friendly, super nice. Just as excited to be there as we were. But something I will say, and the person in front of me, before we got in the chairlift, and this is something I want to talk about, we started talking about how amazing the resort is. And I said, next time, because they are going to do it again. At least they talked about doing it again.
This is the first one, and they're saying every year they're going to do
the next time. I'm like, why didn't we stay here? This is amazing. The place is amazing. And the lady in front of me, she's like, yeah, we rented an Airbnb. I don't know why we didn't just stay here. So that's kind of the feel. Once you get there, you kind of I just was
all these things to do and things to see.
So anyway, there we did the sky bridge. So we did that event, and then and you get like a lift ticket that you can go up and down all day long. So if you go there for the day, you could do it, go across, you could come down, poke around the little village, then go back up to the restaurant if you want to eat on top of the mountain. Just all kinds of things, and lots of outdoor activities. So you can hike, you can just do lots, and we'll talk a little bit more about what we did. But after that, we came down, we did a little shopping, I think, next, because it started raining when we were coming down the mountain. So I think we would have rented bikes, and probably that was our plan. Either
there's mountain bikes, e-bikes you can rent.
Yeah, we were gonna do, I think,
ride all around.
And that's what we had planned to do, make it kind of a more athletic thing to do. But yeah, with the rain, we weren't having that. That wasn't going to happen. So we decided to go and we shopped first. So we shopped, you can see. And I've got, you can't see mine, but I've got one too. And then I got like a little zip up hoodie, but they had like a logo shop, and they had like an Outfitters for all of like your ski attire, North Face stuff. Like if you want, obviously they have like the ski shop where you can get skis and snowboards and paddle boards and like anything you can think of that you would need for outdoor or winter activities, they had it. And then they also had like a candy shop and a toy shop, which we didn't go in there. They had like,
that's the only thing we didn't go in, I think.
Yeah, there were several like little places to go like that. There's an arcade, there's I don't know how many restaurants, like maybe
4 or 5.
Yeah, all different. Like it's like a deli and a bar. They had there's a bar there that serves food. I think most every place serves alcohol, but there was a pub style bar, which was really busy. Everybody was there.
What's kind of fun though is the more you see of it, you don't have any really desire to leave.
Yeah,
you just want to go to the next thing.
Right.
You look around and let's go over here, let's go over there. And
right. Yeah. So we ended up doing a little shopping in the logo shop, and then we went into, I think it was called Everett's restaurant inside
in the main lodge, which was amazing.
And it was kind of later. It was past, since we had the brunch. We ate before we left, had the brunch, and then it was like maybe 2 or
about 1 or 2 o'clock.
Yeah, I believe. So we did that, and we had a wonderful server. I think his name was Ben.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he was so nice. And that's what I'll say. Even at the brunch, everybody, all of the employees, the staff, just
very professional.
Yeah, very nice,
And the food we had was really, really good.
Yeah, right. Yeah, at the restaurant it was. Yeah, it was. And there wasn't a lot of people in there just because of the time of day. But and all of the decor, it's like very cabin-esque, like They had, I don't know, it's just really pretty. Lots of wood. If you like wood, it's lots of wood
when
there.
You say lodge, this is what I would think of as a lodge,
Yeah.
a really nice lodge.
Yes, that's exactly what it was like. Yeah, yeah. So we did that, and then
And it was still raining.
So I'm like, I don't think we're gonna get the bike ride in. So they rented golf carts. So we decided to with the top on them and a windshield. So yeah, and it was raining. I mean, it was enough rain to be annoying, like to get you wet.
Well, if you stood out and you would get wet.
You would get wet, yeah. Which we didn't kind of want to do that. So we rented this, and Mr. B over here drove, and I think they say it was 7 miles around. There's like a trail
route around the mountain. All around.
Yeah. So, and there's of course there's golf there too. I think at every single I would think at every ski resort probably in the country.
Well, golf's a big thing in the summer.
Yeah, I can see where that, because the golf course was, and actually I've never but it's beautiful, but I've never done it. You used to golf, but I'm not a golfer. But I liked going all around. So we went like this loop. We went through the golf course. We saw all the beautiful scenery. Something I didn't show in the video so much is like there's a lot of homes there, which I think are like people's second, like their resort homes.
Really nice homes.
Some of them are pretty swanky. They're pretty fancy.
And the route took us all the way up to the top of the mountain.
So we got back up by driving. We got back up to where the sky bridge was, but in the woods before you get to the golf course, you get to drive through the woods. It's really, they have frisbee golf, which I've never done that either, but I kind of want to now, because it looks like that would be kind of fun. It'd be a lot
of walking, but
so
it would be,
I don't know if any of you have ever played frisbee golf, but if you have, I think it would be fun.
I didn't see anybody playing that day,
well,
but I think
because it was raining.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, we got all the way back around, did the whole loop, got to see the sky bridge from like back farther, and it's so cool because all the colors, and then I was so proud of myself that I went across it, because I didn't think, honestly, I didn't know how I would do. I really didn't know how I would do about getting across it, but
you did really good.
Yeah. Well, it was worth it though. I mean, and the thing is, well, we got back down the mountain, got everything all squared away, and we're getting ready to leave, and then the clouds parted and the sun came out right as we were leaving. But it was just
quite an experience.
It was. And initially I had no idea what it would, I had no idea what it would be like. I just wanted to go to see. I donated I worked the piece, and it did take me quite a while, and I was and I was worried that I almost missed the deadline for it, and then it was bigger, and it's all fine. I can remember kind of fretting over it, but it's all fine. But it now, like we were talking, it's something we would like to get our whole family.
Well, realize it's a real destination.
And it's not like, for us, it's not really that far.
No, 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours.
3 hours. Yeah, about 3, little over 3 hours.
But you could easily go up there for a weekend.
Yeah, right. And there's so much to do. There's something for everyone. And of course, the way it works there is just like we came in for the day, and you can just do the activities, and you just pay for what you want to do. So you don't have to stay there, but I think we want to. And they have a water park too. I don't know that we mentioned that.
We didn't get into the water park.
Yeah.
That's a big family thing.
Yeah.
If
I mean,
kids want to take kids up there.
Yeah, and we could have done that, but I don't know. I think without the kids, it's more fun if we have the kids with us. Another
kid-friendly thing would be the zip lining, maybe.
Yeah, they had a couple zip lining. Yeah, what else did they have? They had they had I saw people fishing. You could do that too.
Arcade.
They had the arcade, right. And I think there was there's horseback riding too, because I had thought about us doing that. Yeah, well, because it's not right there. Okay. I think you have to go because it's just a sprawl. I mean, they have stuff all over. Yeah. There's things all over the place to do. So,
but you could easily show up on a Friday night and be there the whole entire time and never leave.
Right.
And run out of things to do.
Well, there's so much to do. I think you wouldn't run out of things to do. Yeah. And in the summer. Yeah. I mean, obviously you go skiing in the winter. You go skiing and you want to do that, or snowboarding or whatever. But yeah, I think it's
a cool summer destination too.
Yeah. So I am hoping that for sure that they will do the event again next year, because I'm already thinking about now what I want to do for it now that I've seen it and what it looks like. But I know like this year they had a theme. I don't know if they'll do another theme. So pre-doing a panel maybe wouldn't be a good idea, but I'll have to keep you in the loop. I will for sure, because they said that they would let us know.
Yeah. Well, this was, I think, from what we saw, such a success.
Yeah.
For them, I don't see any way that they would be doing it again.
Yeah, I hope that they said that they want to, and they want to make it bigger. So
there was a lot of room left on the bridge for
more
yes.
pieces. Well, and they talked about like yarn bombing because it was National Yarn Bombing Day. So like yarn bombing, like lots of other things too, which they could do. There's lots of stuff to do that there. So
that could be a whole another event.
Yeah, yeah, in itself. All right. Well, that's really it. Do you have any other things you'd like to add?
I don't know, except it was just a very cool experience.
Yeah.
And I don't know if everybody's heard of Boyne Mountain before, but you know, you don't always know what's there until you go.
Right. Yeah.
And it was really something.
Yeah. I have not a bad thing to say. We had a wonderful time. It'll be a wonderful memory for the two of us spending it together and just.
And I guess the only thing we would have done differently is would have stayed there.
Yeah,
I
think that's now. Yeah, next time we'll stay at the resort. Yeah. We won't stay someplace else because I think that'll just even add to the experience.
Throw in an extra day too.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, come back on Monday. Yeah. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope that, the whole experience, you'll have to follow along the whole thing, and you can even go, I'll post, actually, I'll do it on your face.
Right here.
Like, I'll post a picture of like me walking onto the bridge and then one of my panel so you can see what it looks like. And I'll link below to the Boyne Mountain Resort and also to the Women's Resource Center of Northern Michigan too. So you can check that out. And I don't know when they'll be doing the auction, but I'll keep y'all posted. So anyways, thanks for watching. And remember, hold on, I can't end it like this. Remember,
above all,
stay cranky. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.